Good morning, Cardinal Country. I'm here with local bum.
Toby Hamill.
You may recognize him as the weird guy standing on the field at football games with a camera.
Hi.
Today is Friday, September 9th, and you're watching
Flock Talk.
While you may have seen Sports Report, we also have Robotics Report. Our robotics team, the WorBots 4145, have recently
Bobbing for apples.
What's up, Cardinals? Today we're with
Gage Stevens,
Carly Fiddler, Olivia Ritchie,
Ava Jacob.
and we're gonna be bobbing for apples. You guys ready?
Alright, I'm ready.
Wait, I'm not
Let's go.
ready.
Let's go, come on.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Two hours later.
I bit the thing. Dude. I literally can't get it. Dude, this is not working out. I don't know if it's gonna work.
I can't get
I literally can't. Hold on. Alright.
You know what, let's just call it. Let's say Carly won.
Yeah, I won.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I guess. Ready as I'll ever be.
3, 2, 1.
I can't even reach it. I can't. I'm too short. Wait, I can't even get one. I can't see. This might be the funniest thing I've ever seen. I literally can't.
This is way harder than it looks.
Yeah, it's not easy. I can't get it. Bro.
Okay.
My stomach actually hurts. There we go.
No! There's no way you can put your entire mouth around one.
Oh, hell no.
Oh my god.
What? Okay. There's one that I don't have any more stems. I don't have any more stems.
Wait, I can't. How much longer are we going? Because I'm winning.
I don't know, but I don't have any more stems. Let's just call it here.
Maybe done. Because I can't see.
Let's just call it here. Ava won.
Good job.
How are you guys feeling?
I'd never want to do that again. I won.
Feeling a little wet.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I mean, I won, so.
All right. Yeah, that's it.
Bobbing for apples.
Yeah. As I was saying, the robotic season is just starting up, and we've got the inside scoop.
Welcome to our shop.
I'm here at the home of the WorBots, Team 4145, our school's robotics team, with...
Braylee, I'm the president of business operations here on the robotics team, and I'm co-president of the entire team with...
Owen, I'm the head and co-president of the robotics side of things, as well as the driver for the robot.
Owen, Braylee, how can someone get involved in robotics?
Oh, that's a great question. So to get involved, all you have to do is reach out to one of us. If you see us in the hallways, that would be great. But really, at Thomas Worthington, which is the high school that I go to, you would check out one of our flyers, our posters, or listen to the announcements, and that have available information. And for those of you who haven't heard the announcements already, our first informational meeting for students will be on Wednesday, October 19th, here at WKHS. And for those of you who don't have a ride, you can ride bus 55. Bus 55, I'm going to say that again. It leaves at 3:30 sharp, so just hop on and it'll bring you right over here.
So as the robotics team, you guys do a lot. What are some examples of the stuff you guys do?
Since I'm the co-president and I work with business stuff, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do. A lot of our stuff is administrative, so we plan events, we plan outreach events, like we'll work with Habitat for Humanity or Turn for Troops to get those outreach and give back activities. We'll do team bonding, but also because we're largely independent, we have to go out and fundraise ourselves, so we'll send out letters, emails, we'll make phone calls to these companies, and then we'll go in and present. We get to present to CEOs, CTOs, all sorts of people, and get that hands-on experience in sales and marketing. And that is really where you're getting that experience on the business side of things.
On the robotics side of things, it's very much following the design process. So we get the game in early January, and then essentially after that, all we have to do is plan, design, and eventually build our final robot, which will compete in like 3 competitions. So on our side of things, we get to design it. We have a design team that uses AutoCAD to design the robot. We have an electrical team that actually wires everything together, the fabrication team that builds all the parts, and then eventually the drive team, which gets to drive it in the competitions.
Perfect. And if you want to know more and get more involved, that's Wednesday, October 19th, here at Kilbourne.
Thank you to our sponsors right here on the board, ATS, AEP, HP, L3 Harris, and Lakeshore. Thank you so much for sponsoring us last season, and we are looking forward to working with you guys again.
That was Robotics Report. Now here's the real
Sports Report.
Hey cars, my name is Gerald and you're watching Sports Report.
Last Thursday, the girls' varsity golf team took on Hilliard-Davidson and Dublin Scioto in a tri-match. They lost to the Wildcats but claimed the victory over the Irish. On Wednesday, the ladies played Westerville North, falling to the Warriors 268-223. Last night, they competed in a tri-match with Westerville South in Marysville. We will have those scores for you next week. The girls' varsity tennis team played Olentangy Berlin last Thursday, falling to the Pioneers 0-6. On Tuesday, the girls competed against Grove City, losing 2-5 to the Greyhounds. On their Wednesday senior night, the girls came out strong with a 5-0 win over Westerville South. Way to go!
Last Thursday, the girls' varsity volleyball team hosted New Albany, claiming the 3-0 victory over the Eagles. On Saturday, they traveled to Gahanna where they fell 0-3 to the Lions. On Tuesday, they played Dublin Jerome, coming away with 1 set to the Celtics 3. Last night, they took on Olentangy High School. We'll have those results for you next week. Tomorrow, the ladies complete in the Wayne Roller Tournament at Pig North at 9 a.m. Good luck!
On September 1st, the boys' varsity soccer team competed against Olentangy Liberty. They tied the Patriots 0-0. Last night, the boys stood undefeated as they went head-to-head in the rival game against Worthington Kilbourne. We'll have those results for you next week. On September 1st, the girls' varsity soccer team hosted Bishop Watterson, falling to the Eagles 0-2. In a tough match on Tuesday, the Cardinals ended in a 0-2 loss against Olentangy Liberty. Last night, they played the rival Worthington Kilbourne. We'll have those results for you next week.
Boys water polo traveled to Upper Arlington over the weekend for the Golden Bear Invitational. The Cardinals claimed their first game against New Albany, winning 12-4. They lost 3-14 to a very tough Hudsonville team, and they fought really hard but just didn't make the cut in their last tournament game against Skyline, falling 5-10. The team competes in the Ohio Cup at the Worthington Natatorium this weekend. Good luck, fellas. The girls' water polo team travels to Cincinnati for the Princeton Invitational this weekend. Best of luck, ladies.
On September 2nd, the varsity football team took on Grove City. Simon Smith had 4 catches and ran for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Joey Zalewski had 2 catches for 34 yards and a touchdown. Ultimately, however, the Cards fell to the Greyhounds 26-42. Congratulations to Joey Zalewski for making the Columbus Dispatch Athlete of the Week. Tonight, they battle Newark. Head out to Hamilton Field at 7 p.m. to show your support. Good luck, fellas. The cross-country team's duel at the DeWines meet was canceled on Saturday due to inclement weather. Both teams travel this weekend to compete in the Worcester Invitational. Best of luck, Cards.
Tomorrow, the boys' varsity golf team competes in the St. Charles Invitational at Brookside Country Club. Head out for some intense golf clapping and show your support. Interested in playing a winter or spring sport? Make sure you're signed up on Final Form so a coach can keep you in the loop. See Miss Lee in the main office with any questions.
Thank you for watching this week's Sports Report. Tune in next time for more updates.
September 11th, 2001 was a day of great tragedy for the American people.
Let's go talk to some members of our community to find out more about the personal impacts of this day.
September 11th, 2001. A day Americans, and truly the world, will never forget. For those of us who watched the morning's tragic events unfold, many remember that day in vivid detail. However, there's an entire generation of young Americans that have no recollection of 9/11 at all. Many weren't even born yet.
I was born in July of 2005.
I was born September 10th, 2005.
More than 4 years after that day, Some students recall stories told by their families, but most say it's not generally a topic of conversation at home, and they do not have any personal connections.
The aftermath of 9/11 hasn't affected me personally a ton, but I think it's definitely affected my everyday life and everyone else's, security-wise.
Students today have grown up in a shadow of terror and know no difference in our country's increased security measures. It's all just part of life in today's world.
Obviously, I haven't known a world without it. I just know that these things are here because bad things have happened. I've been through the airport in New York, and it's crazy. There's dogs sniffing your bags and everything, and it's hard to even imagine a world where that wasn't the case.
It's important to discuss the tragic day in our history with students, to foster the notion that it's more than just another day on the calendar. Some of Thomas Worthington's teachers continue to do just that.
I don't use it as a starting point for terrorism. I'll use the takeover in Iran in '79 as more the start of it, so I don't use it as a beginning point. But I think it's a fantastic teaching point in terms of how we understand American liberty in the face of terrorism, either domestic or foreign, and how we balance rights and security. So no matter what, it has to be part of our curriculum.
9/11 is not individually a part of the modern world history standards, but I think most of us try to talk about what happened that day in some capacity.
There have been a lot of videos and studies done about what the physics were about why those buildings collapsed the way they did. And so in our engineering department, we do address that through our courses.
While we may still teach about 9/11, the way in which we teach it has changed over the years.
We have this dialogue as a department as well in terms of teaching 9/11 in the decade or so after it had happened. Kids have these kind of seared memories where they were, what they were doing. It's very real to them. For this generation of students that I have in my classroom, 9/11 isn't any more real necessarily than Pearl Harbor. Both historic events, both worthy of conversation, but you lose that kind of personal relationship. The relationship of people who live through it is so much easier to kind of teach and work from than those who it's quote unquote just history.
So 9/11 is definitely part of my curriculum that I teach to the modern world history students as freshmen. When I first started teaching 11 years ago, students used to come in expecting to learn about it on 9/11. Now that years have passed, I feel like students no longer come in with that expectation, so I just want to make sure that I remind them of the importance and the significance.
At my age now, I'm looking back and realizing I lived in history. And so at that time when the planes were striking the buildings and landing at the Pentagon and in Pennsylvania and all, it was all real-time news. It was in every newspaper and on every news channel, probably in the world. But I noticed that when we talk to our kids now, it's just a historical event. It's not a personal experience, it's a historical event.
For those who have lived it, there's always some particular image that we see in our mind when we think of September 11th, 2001.
One is a political cartoon from the day after, and it was of the Statue of Liberty, crying and looking at the towers. You know, just that collective sense of this statue is reflecting all that's good in America, all the hope that we have. And it's just crying over this tragic, attack that's happened.
Oddly enough, the one thing that's always going to be in my memory were the gas lines. My wife was teaching in Evening Street, we carpool, and on our way home that day, every gas station was around the block because no one had a real grip on exactly what was going on. Was this war with the Middle East? How's that going to impact gas supplies? And so there was this rush by society to fill up their cars, not knowing if there was going to be an interruption in oil and gas. So it was very kind of interesting to watch that kind of reaction or see that firsthand outside of what was going on in terms of the actual event itself.
History happens every day. Everyone has a story to tell. And like any other history lesson, 9/11 is meaningful, whether you were there or not. It's important to remember to never forget. forget.
That's all we have for this week.
Stay tuned for next Friday, and remember, it's always a great day to be a Cardinal.